Affordable housing in San Marcos, the missing middle. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Lisa Marie Coppoletta, and I'm asking for your vote this election for City Council Place 2. To help you understand how I would like to solve problems for San Marcos, I've developed a series of talks for you that I call the Coppoletta Chats. For this Coppoletta Chat, I'd like to talk to you about a very important issue for our growing city. I want to discuss the problem of affordable housing in San Marcos and the missing middle. On August 29th of 2016, I attended the Code SMTX workshop for City Council with panel discussion and Planning Department update the City Council interested members of the public. We heard from panel members several involved attempts to bring affordable housing to Austin, including a panel member who actually developed the sanctuary lofts here in San Marcos. I was told that he often apologizes for the sanctuary lofts, but on that night he apologized for overbuilding the number of parking lots in the parking garage. Adriana Cruz, president of the Greater San Marcos Partnership, also took part in this discussion. The partnership has had some successes in bringing clean industry to San Marcos, and her input is what it takes to attract businesses that offer jobs with living wages to our community. And that was input that was valuable. Her work is much appreciated. Unfortunately, there were no panel members talking about the impact of her housing choices on the environment. At the end, I made a comment that inclusion of such an expert would be an opportunity for improvement in the future panel discussions on the Code SMTX. Now, you've heard the phrase, Houston, we've had a problem. Well, in 2016, that's been updated with the new phrase, Austin, we have a problem. The problem in Austin began with the overzealous embracement of form-based code and the gold rush to own property on one of the hottest cities in America. We learned that despite the fact that Austin is not landlocked like other major cities such as Chicago or New York or San Francisco and New Orleans, Austin has an extremely dense employment center. A full 29% of the jobs in Austin are within a 3-mile radius of downtown. In an effort to decompress the worsening of an already terrible traffic and parking problem, the City Planning Department encouraged density and form-based code in Austin. However, without proper controls, developers have been encouraged to build huge, mini-sized rental unit mixed-use complexes with limited parking in an effort to decrease the parking problem without following the tenets of the smart growth to include affordable housing and embrace socioeconomic diversity. The result, what we see in Austin today, a huge mixed-use rental of high-end condos with high prices, most owned by faceless investor corporations with interest in profit, not the city taking over and displacing former citizens of Austin. The music artists, y'all, who made Austin the live music capital of the world, can no longer afford to live in Austin. At this point, they've been pushed across the river to South Austin. And at this rate, it won't be long before they end up in San Marcos, Texas, y'all. Whole neighborhoods have been gradually displaced by increased property values and investors who purchase property and either tear it down to build dense rental unit properties or increase the rent to what the market will bear. Single-family homes have been converted by rent-by-the-bedroom units with many tenants in each home. As a consequence, the cost of housing in Austin, like that of other popular cities such as San Francisco, has blasted into outer space. The result of a collection of ghettos, in this case a collection of homogeneous, wealthy people, often of similar age, who can't pay or at least borrow an almost unlimited student loan money to pay the sky-high rent in Austin. These renters have displaced the former inhabitants of the city like an invasive species. Does that sound familiar, anyone? I've heard it said when Austin gets nauseated, San Marcos vomits. So, on this background, consider the disastrous effects of gentrification in Austin, destroying its socioeconomic diversity and displacing its creative culture. We heard from the few panelists who are actually building smaller condominiums and row houses for ownership. at affordable prices, less than $200,000. We learned from their advice on how we can deal with the affordable housing shortage here in San Marcos. The cause of the affordable housing crisis in San Marcos is a little different than Austin's, y'all. Instead of the concentration on jobs and desirable entertainment scene next to the Capitol, San Marcos has a problem related to investors purchasing houses less than $200,000. Often the case to turn it into student rental units. They charge high rent, often $900 a bedroom, to students who used to only be able to pay low rent, can pay these high prices because their almost unlimited student aid loans allow them to borrow for housing costs. The ever-expanding enrollment of Texas State without providing compensation on campus housing feeds the rent by the bedroom craze. At the other end of the spectrum, corporations with shady history building student housing complexes to the detriment of surrounding neighborhoods with at least 2 previous administrations have been highly supportive of them, even to the point of voting for the Woods disaster. There's a great article that discusses this as well, and it's available online, and it's called The College That Ate the City. Check it out. Besides the plight of the surrounding neighbors, which is another victim in this real estate craze, is a person looking for a modestly priced home. They just aren't available in San Marcos. It's either multifamily apartments or expensive single-family homes. There's not much in between. Very few condominiums, townhomes, row houses, or duplexes for purchase. When the Vision San Marcos Master Plan was written, only 1.8% of housing was in the form of townhouses. Housing for purchase between $100,000 to $200,000 are not just available. The crisis has become known as the missing middle. Why is this a problem? Housing is a crucial part of attracting new residents that keep a town alive. Without affordable housing, students leave San Marcos when they graduate. Without affordable housing, Mrs. Cruz's job to bring living wage jobs to San Marcos is much harder. Employers are less likely to relocate to San Marcos because their employees would have to commute, decreasing their effective pay. Without affordable housing, young people, often saddled with heavy student loans from the times when they were in rent-by-the-bedroom complexes, can never get their foot in the door, building equity with home ownership, which is all of our dreams. Without affordable housing, our city stagnates. So what do we do? Our planning department is trying to address the issue by allowing smaller lot sizes and encouraging denser ownership opportunities like townhomes and row houses to bring the price down and provide housing ownership in the more modest price ranges. This is commendable. The only problem is, though, that these affordable houses are only open on the market. They are scooped up by investors who often corner the deal with quick cash payment. The result is student housing unit often poorly maintained by an absentee landlord. At this point, the discussion city council members expressed hope that our planning department could look at other cities and find a solution. I wish them success, but I am skeptical. I see 2 different ways of finding a solution to the affordable housing crisis in San Marcos. First, our city government has got to aggressively pursue and demand cooperation with Texas State University. We have to move past the point of blaming the university. We have to move past the point of being afraid of the university. We have to move to the point of working with the university. For example, it would have been very appropriate to have the university official in charge of a student housing attending the workshop with the city council that I was just referencing. I would go so far to say that the university should have a liaison present at most of our planning functions involving housing. And the city should have a liaison present at the university functions discussing student housing and student growth. Our mayor should be regularly meeting with Dr. Trouth to discuss issues that our city is facing in trying to be a good neighbor to the university. And the university should want to be a good neighbor to the city it resides in. It may even be a good idea for San Marcos to lobby for a better collegiate responsibility at the legislative level if necessary. The university's policies and decisions regarding student growth and student housing have tremendous effects on San Marcos. Why our government is not working closely with the university is beyond me. I can't see how viable solutions can be developed otherwise. The second set of solutions that I see are aggressive actions by the City Council to encourage affordable housing that cannot be gobbled up by investors for student housing. Options like land trusts, private partnership, community block grants. These are just a few. The council needs to take the bull by the horns on this issue if there is to be any hope of developing owner-occupied affordable housing. If you elect me, I will work towards these two solutions. Partnership and planning with the university, even if we have to go to the legislature to get it, and creative funding solutions by the City Council to develop affordable housing in San Marcos for our citizens instead of investors. I'm Lisa Marie Coppoletta. I hope that you've enjoyed this chat, and I hope that you will vote for me this November. If you elect me to City Council, I will follow up on these issues and be your voice in our government. Thank you, and God bless San Marcos.